What is up, guys? It's whatever here with our BBL. I think it's season 9, they were saying? Draft analysis. I got in. Woo! I love Ubers. I love Ubers. Yeah, so done to BBL. This time it's going to be ran by Matt O'Shea, Nathaniel O'Shaniel, and, we also got some buds in the league, like, Kurt, just Kurt, OG Albina, Tony even. So that's gonna be like, fun little friends league almost. And yeah, I got in. Now I gotta upload, which I will because I got some to, care about now. But yeah, so we went in and there was a clear top three when in this draft because of the fact that there was Yveltal, Mewtwo, and Marshadow. And just depending on like where those went. I eventually got eighth pick, which I was like, cool, I'll get one of the like better mons. But there was like a few picks that kind of dipped down to pick up like Magirna and stuff. So left me with a pretty big choice to be made. Now I am a stupid idiot, and I couldn't count uh, because the rules are like you can if you get one Uber or your Ubers cannot total more than I think it's like 42 points. And I'll show you in in a little bit here. Um, but yeah, so like your Ubers can't total 42 points. So when I went in, I was like, oh, dude, I don't know what to get. Maybe do I get Rayquaza? Owen was talking about Palkia from his last one, and then Zekrom was still there. And Owen also used Zekrom in the BBL tour, which was really cool to see, and I liked it. But eventually, I just decided on, uh, let's see, boom, Palkia. Um, I decided Palkia because 22 points. At this point, I thought that Reshiram, my favorite, and Zacian, or was it say Zamazenta, like uncrowned, just like regular, was 20 points, but it's 21. So I was an idiot. But we'll deal with that later. But that was the plan. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna get one of them now and then go later. And eventually, that's just kind of what it all went. But what the thing I like about Palkia, base 100 speed, there's not a lot of Ubers that are base 100, which is kind of weird. But you know, super simple, easy to use. You just click buttons. Spatial Rend, high crit ratio. But Draco, Hydro Pump, it gets coverage out the wazoo. It can go physical. Like if there's like a chance you're a Blissey, you can run like Focus Punch or something like Owen did last season. And yeah, I just, kind of watching Owen do it really kind of helped me decide that I wanted Palkia. Um, After that, I was like, okay, what do I want? I want some sort of momentum and speed. I didn't want to get Coco. I think Coco went by the time it came back to me anyway. But I was like, cool, I'm gonna get let's see. Oh, it's not working. Boo. Zeraora. Um, so we got Zeraora just because, fast electric type um helps beat the waters that are like, bulky enough to withstand some hits from Palkia. So that was pretty much the plan with this. It was 16 points, which is fine, right around where it's supposed to be. But yeah, like I feel like Zero Hour is very versatile and can be a physical offense that can like help me win games. Just fast electric type, clicks buttons, plasma physical burr. Next, I got Ferrothorn, and that's because I don't draft steel types. I usually forego a steel type and then get like Bastiodon for like 2 points, and then be like, I got a steel type. And now I haven't been unsuccessful in those leagues, but it's way more stressful in prep to be like, you know, what's my guard chomp, counterplay, when I have a bad fairy and a bad steel, because there's only so many good ones. Um, Well, yeah, so we got Ferrothorn hazards.exe lets us kind of set up and create more time for, or more rolls in our favor for Zera and Palkia. Um, and after that, this is might be a little bit of a reach, round four, but I don't really care too much. I really wanted this Pokemon for two reasons. One, I wanted a second water type, and two, I wanted a more momentum. Also hazards were really nice, and also a ground type. So we went Swampert. Sisatoad is there, but I wanted Swampert because of the momentum. Also, I feel like it can have a bit more sets. I didn't feel like I was going to be running Rain. As much as this is like a Rain team, I didn't go Rain, and I kind of like it just because I don't like pigeonholing, myself into like a weather or something. But Swampert, it's got Flip Turn, it's got Scalds, Earthquakes, Waterfall, Liquidation. It can pretty much sit there, sponge hits, get up rocks. That way Ferrothorn doesn't always have to. And yeah, I mean, it was just there to be a second water that I want to switch into stuff. And I prioritized that because waters were starting to fly off the board. I believe Sizotoad was still there at this time, but again, I wanted Swampert. Next, we got to Galarian Moltres, and I was like, okay, time for a Dark type. Because a lot of the Ubers have some sort of Psychic type attached or Dragon. So I was like, okay, well, let me kind of patch up those weaknesses right now. Moltres, really good Mon. It does like two things, but it does those two things really well. And it's surprisingly bulky. It's got a pretty good SPDEF stat. Like, it is crazy. But yeah, basically this thing is just going to be like, agility, nasty plot, weakness policy, one of those. But I feel like I could throw like an assault vest or something, maybe every once in a while, because I feel like this thing is gonna be pretty good. What I get next? Conk. I got Conk. I got big old Conkerton. Now with Conk, I was like, okay, well, I need more physical. Also want something to switch in to like a Scald Burn or something, anything like that. Hazards kind of prevent T-Spikes kind of just, deters them. Not really. Also gives me a defogger. I don't even know if Galarian Moltres gets a defog, but Conk, defogger, best defogger. Because it forces switches. It does. If you get it in right, it forces them switches. And then after that, I got another defogger, but we'll talk about that in a second. But Conk, really good physical attacker, and just there to sponge hits and kill back. Basically, what I love about like bulky offense is just Conk, literally. Guts, Sheer Force, Iron Fist, so it can have like Iron Fist mock punches and stuff. Really good priority and stuff. Pretty much just there to like kind of take a hit and kill something back. That's pretty much what I'm going for. Next is Comfey. I wanted a fairy type, and I didn't want like Clefairy. I didn't want something that would actually like get just destroyed through by other fairies or by other like by dragons. I feel like Comfey is kind of in the middle. I feel like it probably still gets like OHKO'd by like a Dragon Ascent from a Rayquaza, but we could probably EV it to live one. Um, but yeah, like it can sometimes pressure, it can sometimes calm mind, it can defog, U-turn. Again, more momentum because it allows me to kind of keep my team moving. We are playing Wi-Fi, so therefore we have to have U-turn or momentum. That is law. What did I get after this? I think Wob. Yeah, I went Wobbuffet. Now I went Wobbuffet for two reasons. One, it was 3 points. I figured this is like a 5 point mon. And I feel like Wobbuffet can like force prep. I wanted something that was 3 points, but also forced prep. Because I already knew that I wanted to get a second Uber because I was allowed to with Palkia. I just didn't know which one. And then like Blaziken got taken later, like round 5. And I was like, oh man. Um, by the way, this nickname theme is all about SNL. Some SNL memes that we got. Going, me and my friends just watch them like every other week or so. And yeah, uh, what we got here is just Forces Prep, Encore, allows, setup maybe from another Pokemon, Mirror Coat, and counter. You can get Wobbuffeted. Like, it's not hard, and especially if you don't prep for it. Could also, like, take out a ground type. That way Zera cleans or something like that. But then we went to our second Uber because no one could pick up uh, the second Uber, or there's someone who could pick it up last round if I didn't get it this round. So I went with Necrozma Dawnwings. Um, and yeah, Ghost type, Psychic type, Prison Armor. It's got Necrozma. What do you call it? Moveset, which is like a plus and a negative. It's a positive and a negative. It doesn't get the Lunala stuff. It gets a Moongeist Beam, but it's still strong. It's like base 157 special attack. I think it's like something. I don't even know its speed tier, but it's pretty like average in that respect. It's got a lot of sets though. Necrozma has a lot of sets. We can go defensive. We can go offensive. Uh, you know, Power Meteor Beam, yada yada. But yeah, so at this point, I was like, okay, now I'm looking a little bit like Ghost Weak, because my only resist is Galarian Moltres, and that doesn't have recovery on any side. So I went last pick Snorlax. Now I figured Snorlax was gonna be, I was thinking like an Ardino or something like that, but I was like, you know what? I feel like Snorlax is better for Ubers because it can still sponge hits from Ubers Pokemon, any like special attackers. Can definitely sponge them with the right investment, and it can do damage back, and Audino can't. So I just kind of got it to not be as passive, with my bulky offense. That's like mainly what I was kind of going with this team. That's usually like how I go in general. I like bulky offense, like things I can take a hit and hopefully get a kill back, etc., etc. But yeah, this is going to be it for my BBL team. Yeah, we play our week 1 next week. Yeah. So, peace.